Three guys who combined to play 15 seasons in the National Football League trenches. Well, two guys. And Mackey, who didn't do shit. He just sits there and looks pretty.
This is the O-Line Committee.
Gentlemen, are you ready to dive into the Bills Mafia trenches today?
The best of the best, baby. Best.
Sirles, before we get going, I got to know, what was it like playing there? You got
It was incredible. I mean, it was incredible. I mean, we were 6-10 in 2018 when I was there for the majority of the time, and we were bad. But the fans were there every single week. The tailgate lot opened Friday afternoon, and they'd stay there till Monday morning. I mean, you'd be coming to get your Monday morning lift, and there'd be RVs, and like the campfires in the parking lot would still be smoldering. And I mean, it was
tables on fire.
Banana balls everywhere. I loved Buffalo. I loved playing in Buffalo.
Do we have Sirles family permission to play a special video?
Probably not.
Come on,
Why can't we?
Please.
I don't know. I am a
What
professional.
if it's no audio?
I am
no
a professional.
Audio.
I am a professional in this field now. I don't know if we need that out there. I will say this: it's on my Twitter. So if you go,
Well, it's on your Twitter. Why can't? What if we just?
I don't think he wants to dig it up. He's like, listen, it's there. I'm not taking it down. If you find it, you find it. I'm not bringing it back. Yeah,
it's in there.
Dude, it looked like a blast, especially because there was times, and I know that being the home team there, but like being the away team, you would roll in and you were like, there's no goddamn way we're making it out of here alive. There is zero chance that they're going to burn these buses before this game is over, for sure.
I mean, once they turned it around, I mean, have you played there, Booney?
Oh, yeah.
That is the old school stadium feel. I know they're getting the new one, but I mean, like bleacher seats. Like there's the one section that the family sits in that's got heaters. Like it is such a cool stadium. I loved Orchard Park.
When it snows, when it dumps like a foot of snow, do they have like when the Vikings played outdoors for all those years, like fans would come and shovel out before the game? Do fans come and shovel the stadium?
You saw all the videos this year when like they got snowed in and like
they dug them out of their houses.
All the neighbors were digging the players out of the houses.
That's how committed they are, dude.
They were like, you gotta make it.
Brian, get outside! Get outside! Deion Dawkins got to go to work. Shovel his whole driveway, the whole street, dude. They were moving. They had videos of everybody just clearing the city for this team.
They had fans that would come back and clean their cars off for when the guys got home, so they could drive. I mean, we would win a game, and like we come home and there'd be 400 fans at 2 a.m. at the airport. Like the video, I had people sending me videos when they won the playoff game when they came back home. Like they could not leave the parking lot because there were so many people. Bills Mafia is built different.
It's real.
It's as college atmosphere, college fandom as there is in the NFL.
I hope that new stadium doesn't ruin it for him because, like,
it won't. It's impossible. You can't ruin Bills Mafia, dude. They won't let it.
Just don't make it too nice because I remember at the PA meetings, those guys were always like, "Dude, there's just nowhere for us after the game to go. Like, there's literally no building that our wives and kids." I was like, "What do they do? Like, they wait in the stadium in the stands."
There's a little place.
That's so
in the
old
stadium.
school.
There's a little
it's snowing, big deal.
They like close one of the what's the word? Concession stand areas, the indoor ones, and that's where all the players go meet their families afterwards. But it's fun.
When did they start lighting tables on fire? Was that like back in the Marv
what was
Levy
the- what
era?
was
Is
that
that more
about?
of a, is that like a newer thing?
I don't know. I mean, it's always been a thing for as long as I can remember. The one that I still don't understand is the ketchup and mustard.
The ketchup mustard guy?
Yeah.
That's weird.
They literally just like yeah, and then they just and it's just ketchup and mustard like bukkake all over them, and it's just
Hot
not
dog
it's,
bukkake.
it's just a hot dog bukkake, and it's just not
bad.
okay to see. It's like, dude, that's before the game. Like you got to go in there now and just be crusty. You're just crusty
in the
rest
moment.
of
It's one of those things that like you're in the moment, you're fired up, and then like 10 seconds later, you're just regretting every decision.
Every decision.
But they're the best. They are the best, and they're one of the best teams in the NFL.
They are.
Let's talk about them.
And sometimes on these episodes, because you guys obviously former NFL offensive linemen, we take the offensive line approach of what is an offensive line doing. In this case, we're going to look at Von Miller and the effect when he's on the field. So we grabbed some clips from week 1. Von Miller had 2 sacks against the Rams. I think the team had 7 sacks as a whole, the Bills did, and they had like 26 pressures or something. And it was kind of the beginning of the end for Matthew Stafford's season.
26 pressures in a season or a game? My God,
Dude,
that's not a
aggressive.
That's not a fun Monday meeting.
That is not even a meeting. What are you talking about? That is a torching. That is when you would sit in your locker with your coffee and your dip. You'd be like, dude, you ready for this? Are you sure you're ready for this? It's going to be so bad. If he could have just got open. I know.
He just held the ball back there.
He's just patting the ball like a pussy. I don't know what he's doing.
It's not my fault.
Not my fault.
So we're going to give you the what does the Bills defense look like with the weapon that is Von Miller, who, by the way, if he comes back from the injury and gets like 10 sacks, he's knocking on the door top 15 all-time sacks.
It's crazy
in NFL history.
I played against Von as a freshman in college when he was a senior.
Oh,
he beat me like a drum. I mean, all week long. I'm a redshirt freshman. We're going to College Station. Game days there. There's like 100,000 people, and all week long our coach is like, "This guy's really good." And I'm like, "Okay." So we get out there, first third down. Dude runs around me like I'm standing still. I came over on the sideline. I was like, I'm gonna need some help. Like I'm really gonna need some help with this. I'd never seen anything like that with the speed and the way he could dip. I'd never seen anything like it in my entire life.
Dude, so what do they look like when he's on the field? And then we picked a game too later in the season. So he got hurt. He tore his knee in week 13 or 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And the Bills actually went on to win the rest of their regular season games. And then they won a first-round playoff game and then got smoked against the Bengals. But we'll look at a game against the Dolphins late in the season and you guys can tell me, when he's not in there, how much harder is it to get pressure and whatnot? Yes. And maybe by the end, Jeremiah will let us show the secret video.
We'll see.
Hopefully.
We'll
he's
see
a member of Bill's
Mafia.
Mafia.
We'll see how fired up I get. We'll see how fired up this gets me.
Here we go.
So I picked out 7 different plays here. Let's go solo layout here, full screen for you guys. We will run this once, first quarter, halfway through. This is week 1. Bills up 7-0. Rams driving past the 50 here. Defending Super Bowl champion Rams at the time, driving past the 50. So, by the way, Von Miller at the bottom of your screen here to start this play.
And by the way, don't forget he knows a lot of these guys from playing with them. So that's also what's going to make this really tough. Like when you've practiced against somebody for a long time, like just like this, when you have to take this bull rush, and you know what our boy says, you got to ride it. This is... I know him. I know he's not good with the bull rush. I'm just going to go after him right now.
Yeah, because you got to remember, too, Andrew Whitworth was there,
Yep.
and then he was gone, right? So, but Whitworth, as Boone and I know, he doesn't practice.
No.
He doesn't practice during the week. He's a guy that he throws a helmet on Friday, and he's like, all right, see you Sunday. So he went against Note Boom all year long, right? All year long. And the most effective pass rush, if there's any pass rushers, young pass rushers out here listening, if you're gonna master one thing, it's the bull rush. It's the hardest move to stop. It's the hardest thing, and it immediately makes the offensive lineman start thinking about it, and that's when you can get to secondary moves with your speed, your counter. But you want to build off of the bull rush, right? Von Miller, everyone knows he's fast. Everyone knows he's going to run around you. But when he throws this changeup and goes 2 feet in the ground and then comes right down the middle of you, you're not ready for this. Like, you're trying to fly out of there. You're trying to get out of there so fast to try and stop his speed that you get nose to nose with him. And then you just, oh my gosh.
Help it.
This is not
that's clearly not what you want to look like. No, that is a bad position. I think that's a fine somewhere.
Yeah.
But the one thing that Jeremiah talked about, if you take it back, is you see here, No Boom's trying to fly out of his stance, and that's because Von is one of the most explosive out of his, and that's what makes him elite, in my opinion, is these guys that they can, like Jeremiah said, run right around you. That it looks like you're not even moving. So you're already hyper-focused on trying to get off the ball, get back as fast as you can, and then if you look right there, go back a couple kicks, his toe keeps coming up because he is trying to get back so fast. So all of his weight is going backwards naturally, right? Like as you watch him kick, you can see that toe in the front foot.
Right
there. See it? You missed it. It's down right there. See how his toe is up? Yep. So now your weight is naturally back. And instantly Von's like, all right, I'm not going to beat you around the edge, but I see that you're leaning back, so I'm going to try and go through you and create that momentum to continue going backwards, and you don't punch me. This is just the recipe for disaster, but it all starts with the fact that this is Von Miller, and he has such an elite get-off that you're already panicked about getting off the ball. Got to get back, that you don't start thinking when you get there, what do I do now? I throw my hands and I get ready to fight.
Yeah, if you have all your weight, if that front toe comes up as a pass rusher and they see that weight back, they're immediately going to transfer to bull rush because that soft shoulder that we talked about with Micah Parsons. Your inside shoulder is now soft. You have no way to fight back and forth. And then obviously if both hands are up in the air, that's just
Okay,
and let's be honest, too.
Dumb question: Is Von looking at the tackle's foot, or is he just
Front shoulder.
feeling that he's okay?
He's front shoulder. Watch as he goes up on his toe. Watch how high his front shoulder gets. Right? If he's up high, like as soon as he gets here, like all his weight, that'd be his right. Yeah, one shoe red, one shoe yellow. That's his right foot, right? So his right shoulder is
Nebraska
high,
college
right?
education.
You can see it's not a lot, but his right shoulder is a little higher than his left, so he knows that that's the soft shoulder. That's where he wants to go through him at.
And to notice here, he's kind of oversetting him, and Von's kind of like, all right, look, I see a chip coming out here, so I'm going to naturally start to filter back inside where this tackle is not ready to go at the same time. Because why? He hasn't thrown his hands at me. He does. He looks very passive right now. I'm gonna go attack him as much as I can.
This is the Von Miller effect. If without Von, this is a clean pocket, right?
And
Greg Russo doesn't win. Daquan Jones doesn't win. Ed Oliver doesn't win. Like, this is where it's just one man winning his one-on-one matchup, or else Stafford's got a really clean pocket in here.
And if I can get deeper, like if I'm this left tackle right now, it's the first quarter. I've just given up a sack on something really stupid. I'm instantly in my mind in a panic situation, right? Like I'm like, the game just started and I've already given up a sack because I overset and I wasn't strong enough. Like the one time I was supposed to be ready, like that's why these can be so. The early sacks are the hardest because if you don't overcome them, it's like the rest of the day is Chinese torture to you. You're just constantly nitpicking little things and you're like, this is wrong, this has to be perfect, and it just leads to bigger problems.
And you guys kind of mentioned too, like if Von Miller's not on the field for that play, you've got everything else covered, and then you've got your tackle one up on Miller, but with chipping help, right? So you feel like you've got everything pretty much
solidified,
covered, except for the fact that he's a Hall of Famer. And
how hard could it be, dude? You just stay inside out. You're like, oh, don't even start with me right now.
He puts on his shoes just like everyone else. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He has somebody put him on for sure. Guaranteed somebody in there's putting his shoes on for him.
He's got to very clearly. All right, so this is 5 minutes. That's the second quarter here. 1:53 left. Bills are up 10-7 here. So Rams trying to play catch up again. This is a first down play. Rams driving past the 50. Von Miller, bottom of your screen here. Let's run it.
Oh boy,
that's
not a sack.
Let's see, what are they running here? It looks like they're running.
It's basically just a fake
pass.
toss waggle, yeah, right there.
Right. So
yeah, I mean that's a tricky get. Go back.
Yeah. So they're trying to fake like they're running a taxi play here, which is the tackle pulls out. 79 would pull out for the widest here, and they're saying, hey, Cooper Kupp, just down block him, but 65, you got to come try and vice this, right? They're saying 65 and 10, you vice 40. And find a way to vice him. I think 65 busts on this play, personally.
Big time. But that is a lot to get out there against him when you have Cooper Kupp pushing him down.
Like he hangs too long on that nose guard. You got to just give that nose guard to Brian Allen there, and you just got to run. You just got to run, and you got to say, hey, that's 40, that's the best one. But again, this is another thing where this is a play action away, and this is a great recognition, change of direction, right? He sees that Stafford has the ball still. Right, like he's avoiding contact, eyes in the backfield. He sees that Stafford has the ball. He doesn't bite on the play fake at all. He's one of the only people that doesn't, right? Look at everyone else's eyes. Everyone else's eyes on that defense is looking at the running back, every single one of them. But he has such good play recognition that he's like, nope, Matthew Stafford still has the ball, and he's so fast, he's gonna chase Matt down. It's just a matter of how many steps does it take him to get there. And then watch the acceleration here.
Yeah.
Left foot in the ground right there, and then just immediate change of direction, and he catches him in like 3 steps.
That's incredible, dude.
1, 2, 3, and he's 4. I mean, right there, Stafford knows
You're
he's got one more
him.
step. He's got one more step. But again, if Von's not there, this deep cross right behind Edmonds here is wide open.
Yep.
So again, the Von Miller effect, right? Like one guy, he's the one guy that got pressure on this play, and he's the only one that could have made this play, or else this is a big chunk gain on first down.
And technically, 3 people are blocking him, which is crazy. And he still gets through like nobody's blocking him at all. And that's why, if you go back, Jeremiah talked about it, like one of the things that also makes him elite is his ability to redirect. Watch him get through this whole mess. And like he says, he puts all of his weight on that left foot and he just accelerates.
Play it in real time, Mackey.
There's only so many guys that can do this.
He takes all his weight, right? He's firing through, boom, boom. Right there, that redirects.
Did you see that?
That is so hard to do.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. That's like Michael Bennett good. That is you're JPP slipper. I mean, you are just all over the field. You're hard to grab.
That is so hard to do.
Ridiculous. Now go block him one-on-one. Go ahead. You're good. You're good.
And
You
it's
got
amazing
this.
'cause it feels
You
like
got this.
everything looks, this is just my own fan perspective here, but like everything is designed to take him out of the play, right? Let's fake a
Correct.
run to the right toward him, get him caught up in the spin cycle.
Down block him.
You
Yep,
got
all of it.
a guard coming over. You got to tackle it. You're going to throw a guard, a tackle, and a running back chip in his way. And we're going to bootleg Stafford out the other direction. And he still blows the play up before the pass can be thrown. I mean,
He's
The
a
Von
game changer.
Miller
one more
effect.
time.
I mean,
Insane, man.
he
But
won
that's
them the
why
Super
you
Bowl.
this is the like these are the plays that show up when we watch players that you're like, okay, he's good. He doesn't care where he is on the field. He wants to be seen. He wants his presence to be felt. So you have every time he's against you, you have to be getting off the ball as fast as humanly possible. Like it's almost hard sometimes because you're like, I know the snap count. I'm still messing this up. I don't know how.
Yeah, those are the plays during the week that no one in the commentators and the talking heads and all those guys don't talk about. But those are the plays in the film room with the week of preparation that you watch over and over again because you're like, these are the plays that matter. That it's not on the stat sheet. Yeah, it's a hurry. It's not a sack. It's not a hit. But that's a game-changing play. You're now in a 2-minute situation where they're now in 2nd and 10 instead of another 1st and 10 in field goal range.
Right.
Yeah, so they've made their way inside the 30 here. And like you said, 34 seconds left. The Rams are trying to either go ahead or tie before the half. 1st and 10 play here. So Von Miller, bottom of your screen, and I'll spoil it here. The result, I don't think the result of this is a Von Miller sack, if I remember. There's a twist on the left side of the formation.
Oh.
Look at me. Look at me using the word twist here.
using
You
the
guys are
real
teaching.
words.
You guys are teaching Mac and Dak.
Is it a TE or an ET though? Ooh. Oh.
Well, there are some Reese's Pieces on the ground, so I'm going to say it was an ET.
Easy.
Quite
All right,
sure.
we'll see.
Here we go.
Right.
Oh, he's learning. I love it. We're teaching everybody. I feel like a proud dad. Oh my God.
Told you it was an ET.
Well,
Yeah.
first of all, Von Miller knows that they're going to be formationally is to the left here, but they still slide away from him, right? So if you go back to the top, Mackey, this is a 3-by-1 formation, if I recall. Go to the wide. Like this is a 3-by-1, right? So
Roger
the
that.
formation is to the left. So naturally, you're thinking center's going to slide to the strength of the formation because that's where most of your danger is, right? You got 3 guys over there, 4 guys covering 3 versus over here you really only have 2 guys on 2. On the right side, right? You have Milano on the back and then the corner press and the safety's deep. So originally you're thinking, hey, we're going to slide this to the left. But the Von Miller effect, they're sliding
go to him.
they're sliding to Von Miller, which then allows for the left guard and the left tackle. They're one-on-one, which is really hard. They're a 3 technique and a 5, that's a tough thing to do to pick up games because Jordan Phillips, number 97, is a very explosive player too.
So you're saying the center ordinarily would slide to the left here, right?
Yeah, because
it's
there's more
Von Miller.
guys. Yeah,
Yep.
there's more guys over there. But now because 40's over there, you have to give extra help. So you got your chip going, you got everything going that way. Look, you got a chip out there, you got the slide coming. But this is too one of the things where when you go into the week, if you know that you're not blocking this guy over here, like Von Miller, you're not saying much. Like, you have to switch these twists off. You have to. You know they're going to come. It's their way of blitzing without bringing an extra guy, right? Like, we know you're all focused on number 40 over here. Let's let these 2 guys over here get you moving. And what happens is, yep, right there, I don't even mind the guard. I mind the tackle. He has to get a better punch. See that right there? The guard is always going to be drawn in by this because you have to respect that move. He's crossed your midline. Some people are like,
we got toes up. Oh, no.
Oh, we got a lot of things. We got no punch going, too. And we're starting to turn a little bit, too. See how I can't see his whole back? You got to stay square.
It all initially starts, too, with the fact he's going at an angle and not vertical here.
Exactly.
If you have a 3 and a 5 like this, and that's more like a 4-eye. That's a wide 3. 70, if you go back, he needs to go on a straight line back off his inside foot. Inside.
Inside.
I'm gonna draw that line.
Draw it as straight as you can.
Draw it as straight as you can, right? That's the line that he needs to set on in order to pass this off. Because if 97 just rushes straight up the field here, it works too.
It's
right?
super
but he gets
easy.
way off that line. Look at that space that
and
creates.
look, see how his inside foot is up too as he's starting to go inside.
No power.
Nothing. And so you're going to naturally open up. You have no power. And what this guy's job is to do is to destroy the guard's hip. His only job, look, he is looking right at his hip, and I am here to break it open. And then all of a sudden we come looping right around. ETs should never be this hard.
You should also never be facing the sideline like this left guard is.
No.
That's you never want to see your own sideline.
But Jeremiah, you know how hard that is. If the tackle does not punch him, there's not much you can do. You have to respect Phillips in there. If the minute he crosses my midline, I have to go in with him.
The only way you stop a twist is you flatten the penetrator, right? Here,
Punch.
Gregory Rousseau is the that's Epinesa. Epinesa is the penetrator, 57, right? If you don't flatten him and deliver him to the guard, it's over. Now they're both going to have two egos, right? You're right. He's looking right at the hip, but as soon as he sees this, he's like, I don't need to hit his hip. His hip's wide open. I can just put my foot in the ground and get north and south. And Noteboom can't just pass him to no one here. He can't, he has to, and that allows Phillips to come around the edge really tight and just get the sack.
If I'm going to be, how is this play different if Von Miller is just like just your average edge rusher?
They're sliding.
The center slides left, and then how is it? Okay.
The center slides
still
left,
chip,
and the center slides left here. If this is normal rules, the center's standing right in the A gap right there, and 73 his right hand is on 97, and his eyes are out to 57. So and then they're just going to vice this whole thing up. There's no reason. But because Boone said the slide's away, as soon as he threatens his inside, he knows the center sliding away. He has to jump in there. That's how this is different. Usually you're assuming the slide's there, but 97's a very powerful human being.
It's like a hockey assist for a sack there. It's like Von Miller gets
him and I got in a fight our first weeks together in Buffalo. We both didn't realize that we had just gotten there. I got there week 3. He had gotten there from Miami week 3. And we were just got in a fist fight. And everyone's like, "Who's these two new idiots fighting each other?" And afterwards we talked. We're like, "Dude, man, I just got here. Sorry." He's like, "Oh, dude, I just got here too. Sorry. We're just trying to make names for ourselves." And he ended up being a fantastic
way to
teammate.
go, tough guys.
What was the fight about? Do you remember?
It was like 9-on-7, and we were battling, and I think I gave a little extra shove, and then he gave a little shove, and we ended up just and no one came to help us because everyone's like, I don't even know these guys' names. I really don't even know who these two. They just got here.
First day of practice, swinging.
Yep. First Wednesday practice, full pads. We both were trying to prove ourselves. Didn't realize that we had both just got there.
Did you know pre-practice you were going to try and start a fight? Were you literally in your locker room?
I knew I wasn't going to take any shit from anyone. It didn't matter. I was like, I got it. I'm a vet. I've been in the league a long time. I'm not a rookie. I'm on a new team. If anyone, I'm not going to start a fight, but I'm going to finish one. And he came back with the second swing, and off we went.
Yeah. Did you get fined?
No. McDermott loved it. McDermott
did he really?
Oh, McDermott low key. He'll yell, "Hey, bring it!" And then he'll come on. Hey, good job.
Nice.
Way to be tough in there.
Yes, Boone. Did you do practice fights, Boone?
No.
Oh yeah. Ding, lying fine.
You're lying. I saw a few envelopes in my locker. The San Francisco 49ers have fined you an unreasonable amount for throwing a punch. Jim Harbaugh has concurred this fine. Dude, it was such a kangaroo court. We let Jim Harbaugh run the show. We were like, God damn it. Are you serious? $2,500, I threw one punch. Oh, my God.
But it was in a practice. It was in a film study, so you might want to.
I never threw a punch in a game. I never threw a punch in a game. I will say that.
I can't say that.
I know you can't.
Wow, what self-restraint by you! It's incredible. All right, so we're moving forward here. This is we're going to do one more sort of Von Miller terrorizing the Rams, and then we'll get to when he's not playing. What does it look like? So third quarter, Bills up 17-10 here. 5:53 left in the third. Second and 9 here.
We're 17 pressures in for the game.
Yes, this is one of the biggest pressure games, maybe the biggest one the Bills had all season. So Rams offensive line definitely reeling at this point in the game.
I know what play this is. This makes me want to just throw up. You have double chip help here, and you give up a sack. Double chips on both sides. You have a guy. They're like, hey, I think that's Higbee, right? Higbee, make sure you get your hands on this guy, and he still runs around him like he's standing still.
Go back.
I mean, this can't happen. This cannot happen. I hate using always because there's never, but this is an always rule. If you have a chip to your side, you cannot give up a sack to the outside.
Especially not a slide.
I will say this: Stafford's a little deep. And I'll give he's a little deep. So the normal hit here is a quarterback should take it. This is a 5-step drop. He should hit at 9, step up to 7. Right? He's sitting at he gets back to about 11. Right there, he's at about 11 back foot hits. He needs to step up a little bit more. But at the same time, the way that Vaughn turns this corner on that inside foot is why he's so special.
Well, look at the tackle. He just gets stuck. And this is sometimes what happens is sometimes when your hands get hit, the minute somebody grabs that outside hand, your outside foot stops. because they're kind of in unison together. And the minute, see how he gets slapped on the outside, his foot stops, and then Von just turns that corner. But at the same time, you should
Ghost Rush. He's made famous.
I know, dude. And that's a lot of. First quarter didn't go well. Now we're just coming 100%. Back and we're trying to play catch up.
70
dude.
right
tough.
here is thinking. 70 right here is thinking like, okay, I can angle set. I got to get out there. But right here, he's thinking, okay, he's not going to run around me. We got to chip out. He's probably going to run right through me. So if you go right before contact, going right here, you see him start to brace for the bull. Right, he's going, keep going. Right here, he hops both feet back. Right
see
there.
that?
See how he hops both feet back? He's thinking, okay, he's coming right down here. When you hop backwards, all your momentum stop, and now Von just fakes the bull and then just dips outside, and he's got nothing left.
Wow. Dude. That's a nasty swipe right there outside, especially because the guard's trying to come. But I agree with you. Stafford does need to step up, and there's a lot of coaches. There's a lot of coaches in this league that tell you you're in no man's land, and that's your own fault. Like, you should have stepped up. You should have got away from it. But at the same time, you can never really brace for a bull rush like that, especially against someone like him. Like,
so slippery.
He's going to set you up the entire game. Your number one goal should be, I need to get my hands on him before he gets his on mine. That is simple. I get to my spot. I get my hands on. We play basketball. That's it.
So, I mean, wow, that's just like,
by the way,
clinic, man.
Did you notice the theme there, that there was no extra pressure? Like, one guy on the field can act as two sometimes. And even in our own minds, like all week, and this kind of goes back to last week's question of like, how much do you read into the media? We're not idiots. We know, we see guys getting sack after sack after sack, and we see it on the top 10, and all of a sudden you get to play that guy, and you're like, hey, I've seen what this guy's been doing. It's time to get going, right? And in your mind, you're just trying to speed everything up. And then you start making a mistake. And if you don't overcome that one mistake, that guy on the field is, I'm telling you, one guy can ruin
Von
it.
had a little bit of juice because that's his old squad.
Right.
Right. And you know that old squad was like, it's just Von. We don't need to slide him. Like, it's week 1. We can handle Von. We got Von. Blah, 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 blah. And it just went so horribly wrong.
Hey, that's the worst Monday meeting ever. We're good, coach. We don't need to slide to him. Show up after 7 sacks.
Okay.
Here we go. Play 1. Get ready. Who's ready? I'm ready.
Why did we slide to him?
You could have made an adjustment at halftime.
So he tears his knee week 12, week 13, and the Bills the Bills went on a big winning streak and finished the season, I don't know, like 7 wins in a row. So they did win a bunch of games without him.
They scored 50 points a game.
Yeah, their offense is.
So this is a game. There's a few plays here from a game against the Dolphins that they did win, but it was a fight all the way through. And I want to get in, and I'm obviously cherry picking some clean pockets here a little bit, but you'll see, and you explain it, what it looks like when you don't have a Hall of Famer like Von Miller here. So this is second quarter, Bills 14, Dolphins 6. This is week 15. It's a 3rd and 4. And this is one of the games where Tua was active and playing here between
full screen
concussions.
Matt?
Yeah, my bad. We'll put this full screen here, and we'll run it here from the top.
First thing I'm going to point out, how many? And I know we cherry picked a little bit, like you said in the Rams game, but what didn't they do in that game, Booney? They didn't pressure.
No,
they didn't blitz.
That's what I was saying.
They didn't have to.
They didn't have to.
The back half of this season, they started having to blitz to create pressure. Yep. And that's the main difference, especially when you're talking about Jordan Poyer, who's an all-pro safety, missed a lot of time this year with injury. Micah Hyde went out super early in the game, or early in the season. So now you've got an injured back end, right? And now you're creating pressure with blitzing, which puts those corners and puts those guys on an island, right? Tre'Davious White was just getting back. Right, he was just getting back. So here you see they're like, man, we're not getting home. We're not creating rush with 4. We have to start blitzing guys. We have to start sending guys.
And technically they rushed 4 here, but is this a zone
Still
blitz?
Pressure. Yeah, this is zone blitz, right?
So if this guy drops back,
they drop back.
He
fire zones back, but then they throw the ball away from where the fire zone is because they know if they're going to fire zone on that side, it's man coverage on the other side.
Correct.
Right, Tre'Davious White's going to be manned up with that receiver on the outside. They're going to run fire zone over here to the left. And drop him back into the hook curl. And here, like, okay, so it's going to be man coverage on the right side. On the right side here, where's my one-on-one matchup? Back does a nice job cutting in the hole and just gives up a go ball. But again, look how clean that pocket is.
Yeah.
Right? 71 does a nice job on Russo out here. They pick up Ed Oliver in the middle. And now this is one where you're saying, hey, I need Matt Milano to win in the hole here, and he doesn't.
This is a great example of, if you go back here, Russo on the edge, is in the same exact position that Von Miller's been in the last, 4 plays that we've seen. This tackle even sets the same way. Toe comes up, he's weights back, and he doesn't produce anything like Von did. And that is the whole effect of Von. Is one guy on the field can ruin everything. That's what we want. Like when you go in on Wednesday and you see that the team is a low pressure rate, 25%, and they're still getting home, you're like, all right, who up front is causing problems? But then some weeks you go in and it's a 45% blitz rate and they're not getting pressure. And it's like they're trying everything. They're desperate. They're doing what they can to get there. All right, we got a chance. This, to me, becomes fun when teams have to start throwing things at you. And it's constantly sometimes confusing them. If they don't and they can play vanilla, it makes it hard for us because it's like there is no answer. They're not even bringing pressure. Imagine if they started throwing more at us. Like we would really be in a problem.
Well, that's so on the blitz theme here. So this is another one where there's no Von Miller. So let's gamble, see what happens. So Dolphins inside the 30. It's still 14-6. Bills leading by 8. Second quarter, time winding under 4 minutes. It's a 3rd and 9 to try and keep this drive going.
Full screen, Mac.
There we go. Full screen. There we go. You have my University of Minnesota education paying off here.
Show them the big picture. Oh, look at this front. I didn't see anything this exotic before. This looks interesting. Sirles, we've been there. You look up and everybody's up there.
Yeah, this is where.
Hey guys.
This is double.
Hey everybody.
Safety on the edge. This is a Mike Zimmer special here.
Oh,
this
double A gap.
Double A gap.
Double barrel.
Anthony Barr and Eric Kendricks, and then Harrison Smith lurking in the background.
You see him over there on the right side. I see him. Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is an
you.
empty protection, right? So they're going to deem where they want to go. So they're sliding left. The right side here, 68 and 71 have a hot set or a dual set. So their job here, since they're sliding to the left, they have to take the most dangerous 2 on this side. So you see both their eyes are going to be 249 right at the snaps here. They're both setting vertically, right? So they're setting vertically because if 49 were to come here, they'd have to squeeze down and be hot off 50.
See how the guard's looking at 49 right there?
Right in here for the
No, the other side.
Other side.
That guard right there. See how he's looking right at his toes? He's trying to see what he's doing right there.
Yep,
and that's why the tackle's
for
looking at the
49.
3 techniques toes too. That's why they're setting vertical. They're checking him. He doesn't come. Get out.
And then they eat up the 3 over there, and the back has to stay in and block Poyer here. But again, you're sending 5, or is it only
back.
4 again?
Go back.
Count? That's 5. Right?
I love this right guard. Watch what happens when this 3 technique goes out, and this is what I just don't think is utilized enough, especially on Matt Milano. I love this.
Left guard or the right guard?
Right guard. Watch. Sets. Right. Check. All right. Jones. I'm going. My tackle's here. Yup.
He sees
I'm checking him.
leaving, right?
That's my guy. He left. So I check out, and as soon as my tackle says go, 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 what do? I go bring the
pile.
I bring the hammer. I love it, dude. I wish he would have used more of a shoulder, but still, just get in there and cause even more chaos. Just start hitting everybody.
Yeah, you just want to create. You want to create a throwing lane, right?
Break
you
bones.
If you have no one over there, you want to just mash that, turn into a pile, right? Because Basham here, 55. Is actually rushing through the inside gap of this tackle, trying to eat him up, because if this back doesn't stay in, right, he's trying to eat up Teron Armstead so that Poyer has a free run, right? The back ends up staying in. This is still 6-man protection. If this was 5-man protection, the whole idea is run through this tackle's inside shoulder so that he gets latched up, and you can try and have the outside guy just really shave that tight to get that sack.
And the problem is we don't know who messed this up because it looks like Teron Armstead's treating it like it's 5-man, and the running back's treating it like it's 6 because the running back's staying in, but Teron's trying to block 2. He's trying to kick all the way out. So I wonder who was right there.
I think it was probably just a chip protection. He just ended up hanging a little bit longer.
But it looked like he was dedicated to staying in.
He was.
Like when the minute you turn and trying to run with the guy, to me, you're in.
This is let's see here. We are now third quarter, 12:48 left here. So these are all third down plays pretty much. Like some of these big plays here. So
this is 1-by-3 here.
Yeah.
3rd and 4. Dolphins down by 8 here, trying to keep a drive going. And this is a big home run.
Classroom time. Mackey, do you know why we call this a 1-by-3 and not a 3-by-1?
Wow.
Is it
okay? I have 2 potential guesses.
Okay.
Is it because you're reading left to right?
Nope. Try again.
Is it because the 1 is in tight next to the tackle?
Negative. All right, here's why this is a 1-by-3 and not a 3-by-1, right? 3-by-1 is you always set the strength to the tight end, right? So Gesicki is the tight end down here on the nub side. So this is technically a 1-by-3, which changes, and the reason that's important is it changes your mic point, right? You always set your mic off of the tight end, the strength of the formation, right? So right here, Matt Milano is the Sam linebacker. Tremaine Edmonds is the Mike linebacker. If this was a 1-by-3, if this is a 3-by-1, and say Gesicki's standing over here on the 30-yard line, and this is a receiver, other side, say Gesicki's on the right side.
Gotcha.
In the strength. Say he's in the slot.
To the strength, and a receiver is standing over here. That's a 3-by-1, and then this would be flipped. Matt Milano would be Tremaine Edmonds would still be the Mike, but this would be the nickel Sam out here over the guy. It just changes the count, and like a 1-by-3 formation is really common because you like to be able to run out of this to the strength of the tight end too.
It's big with
classroom,
McVay.
little classroom.
No, this is great.
McVay's made it big, dude. He's the one that, because remember he had Higbee and all those guys that were kind of like Wes Welker-ish and were dynamic, but at the same time were tight ends, and it was like, man, this is kind of fun to watch.
So there's just
you
kind
have
of
a corner. You have a corner on him instead of a linebacker.
And I think the Sean McVay sort of style of offense, I believe the Rams have run the most 11 personnel the last 3 years, right? And that's what Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of different ways to deploy 11 personnel as you're kind of seeing, I guess, in these 3 plays, right?
Yep.
So I love this, by the way. From a fan's perspective, anytime you guys can, I think these little pop-up quizzes are good. They're good for me and they're good for the audience because we don't know. I mean, half the time we're just watching the quarterback throw the ball. Like, we don't know. There's just a jumbled mess of humans, and we're just yelling at the offensive line to be better for half the game. So this is good. If you can explain the why.
Number one thing I look at is formation. It's the first thing you look at anytime you see a play.
Look at that clean pocket.
They run a stunt here too.
House.
Gonna catch him.
No.
That play right there won me my fantasy playoff game, I think.
Wow.
Bro. Give me the waddle. Phenomenal.
They're
Here we
sliding
go.
to the tight end here. So this is exactly go back. So you asked on the last Rams play, what would it look like if they slid into the slide? This is exactly what it would look like. Remember you said, like, what would happen if they slid away from Von Miller?
Right.
Right? Now they're actually sliding to the strength of the formation. They're going to Matt Milano here because they're going to the tight end. Watch. This is what I mean by the left guard is setting with his eyes outside and just keeping presence inside for the center.
So they run a – by the way, here's a dumb question. So, Jeremiah, you said they ran a stunt. Alex, you used the word twist. Are those the same things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just only
So this is the same. This is the same defensive play minus Von Miller as we ran earlier in the episode, and they're sliding the center left because there's no Von Miller. That makes sense.
They can pick a side. It doesn't matter. They slide it to the left, right? See how the
all
left
things
guard's,
are equal, we call it.
See how the left guard's eyes are always out, even when the guy's inside of him?
Get this damn
posting
the camera out of the way here.
See how you'll see he's posting his right hand for the center. He's basically giving body presence right there.
Oh,
see
right
it?
there. Yep.
Yeah, you can see his hand, right? And his eyes are outside because he doesn't have a man. He has a gap because we're in the slide. So the center has the A gap, the guard has the B gap, and that's why he's just looking what's coming into my gap. And that's why this same twist from before goes nowhere. Because there's already a guy waiting. I'm waiting for
72 hands him off here. Yeah.
Correct.
Now this
72 might even does too much. Like, you can get back, dude. You have the slide. You can get back. Let that guy create a move. See what he wants to do. We're a big wall. He still makes up for it, though, because he's one of the best tackles in the league.
This is another one on the right side where this 71 can't turn like this. He needs to go vertical. He needs to go straight back vertical. Right on that line, straight back, staying square, because this guy's job is to rush through his inside arm. Right, 68 does a decent job here of getting to him and flattening him.
Oh, that's not good.
But because the tackle's turned, like if this tackle's square, this twist is a non-issue. It's over.
And we're not even talking about vertical. We're saying square. You cannot face the sidelines because see how that 3 technique. The minute you turn, all he has to do is push you upfield. Like, he literally just has to put his hands on your hip and push you, and that defensive end just comes right back inside right now. That's why you have to stay, when you don't have the slide, you have to stay square and vertical because it protects both of you. And if something happens like this, like, look, he falls off late. And had this been Von Miller, he would have been inside way faster with how fast this guy turns.
Russo pushes this up the field too many steps.
Way too many. The
He
minute he turns,
too, right
there, he should have been gone.
He's gotta go right there.
Way before then.
This is what we talk about why Von Miller's so special with the way he can change direction. Like, I think Russo's dealing with an ankle here, right? So you see he doesn't have that change of direction, that explosiveness that Von brings with the difference here, right? Right there, he should be around that, coming screaming off that guard's hip and smacking to it right in the teeth.
Tua shouldn't even be able to see it. That's how fast we've seen it happen before. Like and the 3 technique doesn't do a good job of pushing the tackle either. Like the minute that tackle turns open, they're taught the good ones. They're even if they're not in a twist, just push them up the field. A good defensive end will see it, read it, and just they're tough.
Phillips, number 97 for the Bills. Phillips and Von Miller, in my opinion, are one of the best stunt running duos in the NFL. Because of the power that Phillips can bring to push things, and then the quickness that Von Miller has to like read off of it, whether it's an ET, TE, like those two guys together, the combination is one of the most lethal twist combinations in the NFL.
I mean, think about it. Some of the best tandems have been when the interior tackle is smart enough to grab or push, and the outside guy just dances off of what he's doing.
That's when you had Aldon Smith and Justin Smith.
Oh, Justin would just hump you, hook you.
He'd hook you, and Aldon was lanky enough and powerful enough to get around you, right? Like
so
I think of guys like it was Michael Bennett and Bruce Irvin, right? Those two guys together. Like if you think about some of the great tandems, Derek Wolfe and Von Miller in Buffalo, like it's always a big, explosive, powerful guy inside, an extremely lightning fast guy off the edge.
How about this one?
Those are the most lethal ones.
How about this one? T. Suggs and Haloti Nada.
Yep.
Huh? Played him.
Talk dirty.
Let me tell you something. You don't even know how to get dirty. No, there's no talking dirty, Mackey, okay? That is a full-grown. I'm here in the moment. I'm with you.
Vita Vea and Shaq Barrett.
Or JPP. I mean, it always makes sense.
If you watch the great teams that run stunts all the time, they always have that combination together.
Especially because when you have a big guy as a 3 technique, you can't really get off the ball. Because if he creates enough force that I can't even stop it with just the steps that he takes, then I'm in real trouble. Because then he's going to get me going backward even faster. So with the big guys, you're trying to jump them, and it always creates this mismatch of levels. And so the tackle's always deeper, the guard's always up here, and the minute they start twisting, you're like, oh, I got to man this. And then, dude, I'm telling you, we could go down rabbit holes right now that could just, I'm getting scared.
Oh, are you ready? You ready for this one? You ready for this one? Fletcher Cox and Chris Long.
Oh, yeah? How about Aaron Donald and Chris Long? How about Aaron Donald and Chris Long back when they were young and they hated me and Anthony? Hated. Chris used to talk so much shit to me and Anthony. And we would just jaw back, and it was like the greatest until it was 3rd down. And they were like, Lucky! Son of a bitch. AD, you ready for this? Maybe, yo, bro, let's go. This is my guy. He's the ride or die for anything.
All right, did we do enough? Did we do enough to get the Bills Mafia secret video out here?
Can we get tickets to a game? I just want to go break a table so bad. I want to put Jeremiah through a table.
Can you recreate it?
No,
show the tape.
I paid too much for this desk to do this.
Roll the tape.
Kansas City. This is freshly off retirement. They're playing the AFC Championship game. My wife was 7 months pregnant. Very upset with this. Hey, I didn't spill the beer, though. That's all I got to say.
That was the slowest fall I've ever seen, dude.
I was scared,
it.
dude. I was still 320 pounds. I don't want to hurt myself.
I would have flipped off of it, landed on my neck.
Couple questions. First of all, why did they not? Did they want to light the table on fire and you said no, or was this like kind of the?
Wait, what?
This was pregame. This was before the game. So this was before the game. So this was like walking around, and there was a Bills tailgate that I obviously walked up to, and they were like, "You're Jeremiah. You played for." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I've always wanted to go through a table," and they like whipped one out of their back because they like hide them.
Oh, we got
Everyone
one.
Wants to go on. They're like, "Oh, we have one." And set it down. I was like, "We're doing it. We're doing it." Again, wife very unhappy with me that day.
Why?
Not husband of the year.
Oh, I'd have been so proud of you for going.
7 months pregnant. We're going to the game. It was like, I think it was like almost New Year's Eve time. And my one rule was don't drink so much that you fall asleep on the way home. I didn't make it out of the parking lot. It was not my finer moment.
Oh boy, proud of you.
But you're still married. You got multiple kids. Did they know you were a former Bills player?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I walked up and I asked them if they had a beer, and they were like, "You look familiar. Did you play?" I was like, "I did." Yeah, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're going through a table."
You look familiar. You're like 7 feet tall and 300 pounds. Did you,
right?
Football player?
Yeah. This was.
Where'd you get your Carhartts from, buddy? Look at those things.
I love those Carhartts.
Love Carhartts.
Shout out Carhartt.
Sponsor. Yes.
If you're gonna go through a table, and if it's on, I bet you if you lit that thing on fire, the Carhartts would actually still hold up.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, for sure they would have.
Official pants of the Bills Mafia, Carhartt. That's going to be our first sponsor.
O-line committee.
O-line committee. Sure. An offensive line lifestyle podcast. By the way, if you could click the subscribe button and the like button on this YouTube video, we will appreciate you greatly, and you can help us grow this YouTube channel. So thanks for hanging out with us. For Alex, for Bill's Mafia, Jeremiah. I am Phil, and this is the O-Line Committee. See you guys next time.